patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí.
You might have seen the artist Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. It's particularly significant given the cultural and political conversations happening in the US right now. So exactly how did Bad Bunny go from a grocery store bagger in Puerto Rico to a global superstar, a Grammy winner, and a Super Bowl performer? Let's talk about it here on In Summary. Bad Bunny, or Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, wasn't born into the music industry. He didn't come through talent shows or major label grooming. He grew up in a working-class family in Puerto Rico. His mother was a school teacher and his father a truck driver. Music was always present in the household, ballads and salsa, but there was no indication in his early life that he would become one of the most influential global artists of his time. In fact, his story looks a lot more like the modern internet era breakout story.
Salí jodido la última vez que en alguien yo confié, me compro una.
As a kid, he sang in his church choir and developed an early love for music. The name Bad Bunny itself comes from a childhood photo of him looking unhappy wearing a bunny costume. It's a joke that stuck and eventually became a brand recognised worldwide. By his teenage years, he was writing lyrics and experimenting with sound, heavily influenced by reggaeton and Latin trap. These were genres that were exploding in popularity across Latin America and Puerto Rico, but hadn't fully crossed over into English-speaking mainstream culture.
Son las 12:04, ya estoy bien loco, llorando y bebiendo. Pitorro de coco que me trajo abuelo.
Before fame hit, he was studying audio-visual communications at the University of Puerto Rico, whilst working as a supermarket bagger. During slower shifts, he'd upload songs to SoundCloud. His vocal style was distinct and different from anyone else's. His voice was deeper, often laid back, and sometimes stretched and slurred intentionally. It broke from the polished reggaeton vocal style that people were used to at the time. One of those uploads, a track called Delays, started gaining traction online. It caught the attention of a DJ and producer who helped connect him to industry players. From there, momentum built quickly. Within a relatively short time, he was collaborating with established Latin artists and appearing on bigger tracks. What's important is he didn't wait to be discovered. He built digital proof first. By the time labels noticed him, he already had audiences responding.
Bad Bunny!
Now, if you enjoy quick summaries like this one, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. His early breakout period featured collaborations with artists like J Balvin, which placed him in the Latin urban music wave that was beginning to gain traction in global charts. But even then, he stood out. His look was unconventional, and his lyrical tone jumped between vulnerability, social commentary, and humour. He wasn't trying to look like the typical macho reggaeton star, and that difference defined his identity early. His debut album, released in 2018, was a major turning point. It wasn't just commercially successful, it was critically praised for blending Latin trap, reggaeton, pop, and experimental sounds. Instead of chasing radio formulas, he played with structure and mood. The album showed range and personality, and it built a local fan base that went beyond club hits.
Bad Bunny right there. Absolutely. Absolutely right there. Bad Bunny. Estamos bien. It's out now.
From there, his growth wasn't gradual. It was explosive. He became known not just for his solo music, but for cross-genre, high-profile collaborations. Collabs with Cardi B and J Balvin became moments that mattered historically. It showed that Spanish-language heavy songs could dominate the US charts without being diluted or translated.
This is the debut.
Here! Drum roll, louder drum roll!
Bad Bunny made a deliberate choice throughout his rise. He would primarily sing and rap in Spanish. He proved that artists didn't need English crossover hits to become global superstars. And in this time, his audience didn't shrink, it expanded. Streaming culture helped, but so did his authenticity. He released an album in 2020 blending nostalgia for classic reggaeton with experimental production and modern trap. It broke streaming records and became one of the most successful Latin albums ever released. So Latin music wasn't just crossing over, it was leading the charts. Awards followed the numbers. Bad Bunny became a Grammy winner, taking home trophies that validated not only his commercial success, but his artistic credibility. He also dominated Latin Grammy categories and major music awards globally.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out.
His activism has showed up in subtle ways. He's addressed Puerto Rican political issues, hurricane recovery failures, and corruption concerns in interviews and in his lyrics. So by the time he reached the Super Bowl stage, it wasn't a sudden arrival. It was the result of years of boundary-pushing growth.
Thank you so much for helping me get to work. I really, really appreciate it.
No, anytime that you want, we'll be waiting for the call.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
One notable critic of the Super Bowl performance was Donald Trump. He posted on social media that Bad Bunny's performance was one of the worst he's ever seen and criticised the language and style of the performance. The political and cultural climate of Latin identity, immigration and representation in the US has been intensely debated in recent years. Seeing a Puerto Rican artist take on massive stages like the Super Bowl without changing their identity sends a message, whether intentional or not, about power and culture.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans.
For more, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.